You are watching UNICEF television. In Niger, children are bearing the brunt of a devastating food crisis. And the situation is getting worse despite the arrival of this season's first rains. Health centers across the country are filled with malnourished infants and anxious mothers. And each day, more and more arrive.
In recent weeks, we are seeing a lot of cases of malnourished children, and this is a result of a lack of food at home. The parents just can't take care of their children.
Niger's current food emergency is a result of last year's erratic rains, which caused a countrywide crop failure. In many villages, there's nothing left to eat. For months, Raya Sai and her 7 children have been surviving on anza, a wild fruit that survives drought.
It's a disaster. In this village and all those around us, we don't have any food. It's been more than 3 weeks since I've seen a single seed. All that we are left with are these leaves and wild fruit.
This region, which borders the Sahara Desert, is prone to cycles of drought and food shortages. But this is one of the worst in memory.
We are preparing for this to be a very difficult year in terms of food, and are expecting nearly 400,000 severely malnourished children across Niger.
UNICEF, together with its UN and NGO partners, are assisting Niger's public health sector to cope with the crisis. Most malnourished children can simply be treated by giving them a high-energy paste called plumpy nut, which is supplied by UNICEF. But the most severe cases do not respond to plumpy nut. They have to be referred to special health centers called CRINIs.
It is the small children, those under 2, who suffer the worst consequences of this crisis because they don't have enough to eat, because they're most susceptible to disease, and because there is a vicious cycle between malnutrition and sickness. A sick child doesn't eat, and an undernourished child gets sick more often.
To break this cycle, UNICEF has helped the government launch a blanket feeding program in partnership with the World Food Programme and other NGO partners, which is expected to reach 500,000 children countrywide this year. Mothers who have at least one child between 6 months and 2 years old receive a monthly ration of oil, sugar, and fortified flour to protect their children from malnutrition. While there is hope for a better harvest this season, Niger's food crisis will continue until at least the end of the year. And so too will the efforts of UNICEF and its partners to ensure that as many as possible of the country's youngest and most vulnerable are spared the consequences. This is Bob Cohen reporting for UNICEF Television. For more information, go to unicef.org. Unite for Children.